Hello and welcome back to our Disney devotional segment today. Had a little bit of a painting accident at work this morning. Paint can. Anyway, slowly starting to peel off like a bun mask. Alright, so today we are on Ariel's Undersea adventure, number 16. Still in Fantasyland for 2 more attractions, let's head around the mine train to the back of Fantasyland and ride a fairly new ride, which is officially called The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure. Okay, that name is way too long, don't you think? We usually just call it the Little Mermaid ride. This ride is, of course, based on the 1989 classic movie of the same name. This movie was a very important one. It was the first of a sort of reboot for Disney classic animated movies. After this movie was made, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Lion King came out in succession and all became hits for Disney. Before The Little Mermaid, there were some good movies, of course, but it had all been a while since Disney had a real blockbuster type movie. I have always enjoyed the movie itself. It is a great story, and the show at Hollywood Studios based on the film is always fun to watch as well. More on that one later. The Little Mermaid ride opened in Walt Disney World in 2012 after the original opened in Disneyland in 2011. They are pretty much identical to each other. I personally enjoy this ride as it is simply a journey through the film as most of the important scenes are shown. I've heard a few people say that it is too simple or boring, but to me it is relaxing and fun. I especially like the scene with Ursula. The audio animatronic of her is pretty impressive. There are some definite fun facts about this ride. This ride sits on the spot where another classic attraction used to be. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which was a submarine ride that still exists in Disneyland. As a nod to this former attraction, you can find an imprint of the Nautilus, the submarine from the film, in one of the massive rocks in the queue line. Also, Imagineers bottled up some of the water from the previous ride, held onto it for 18 years, and in an official ceremony, poured it into Ariel's waters when opening this Little Mermaid ride. Aww. This ride, or actually the queue line, also contains one of the most creative hidden Mickeys ever. It can only be seen one day of the year on Mickey's birthday, which is November 18th. On that day, if the sun is out, its rays blasting through the rocks in the queue line form a hidden Mickey on the rocks below. As usual, I am impressed with the attention to detail and the fact that Imagineers were able to come up with that and make it happen on Mickey's actual birthday. For today's devotional, let's get back to the story from the famous movie. The film is, of course, about Ariel wanting to become human instead of a mermaid, and she is willing to give up her life under the sea and her voice to become human and meet Prince Eric. So that leads me to my main question for today. What are you willing to give up for God? Ariel was willing to give up a lot to make her dreams come true. What about you? Do you have dreams, goals, and aspirations? I hope so. I encourage you to actually write them down, put them in a prominent place, and work hard for them. At the same time, I hope your ultimate dream is to see God and be with Him one day. What are you willing to give up to do that? Is anything holding you back right now from being right with God? As I mentioned in another recent devotional, we are all human and make mistakes. We all sin and fall short of God's glory. It even says so in the Bible in Romans 3:23. So what is your sin? You know you have one, or 2 or 3. I know I do. I have things I need to work on and give up for God. Maybe it's not a sin at all. Maybe something we love like money, electronics, or TV is taking our focus away from God. When something dominates our life, whether it is sinful or not, and takes us away from time with God, that is not a good thing. Whatever it is, we need to give it up in order to obtain our goal. 1 John 2:15 through 17 basically tells us not to love the world. As great and fun as this world is, as well as a blessing from God, we are not to love it. We are to remember that it is temporary and we need to give up the world to be with God one day. I hope you get to enjoy the Little Mermaid ride on your next trip. It is a fun journey with fantastic scenes and great music. As you ride, remember Ariel's story and how she gave up a lot to make her dreams come true in the end. Are we willing to do the same? Matthew 16:25 says, "But whoever loses his life for my sake will find it." This was Jesus talking, and he means if we are willing to give up our life here on earth, we will one day find life in heaven. So can you do that? Can you really give up your life here and all the fun things that go with it? It's so important that you do. I'm trying really hard myself to do just that. I hope you'll join me. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time for the next one. Bye.